One. We are live. Hello and welcome to PropTechBuzz, a podcast channel where we talk to PropTech founders and CEOs from all over the world and learn from them how they build PropTech companies. So today I'm very excited to have with me Arun Rajshekhar. Arun is the founder and CEO of Reality. Reality.io is the website. And they're disrupting real estate by enabling brokers to be the last mile point of sales for B2B e-commerce. Okay, so this is from their pitch deck. I would like to break this up and understand what it actually means. So let's get started. Let's welcome Arun to the show. Arun, welcome to PropTechBuzz. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Ravi, thanks for having me here. And I just happened to go through PropTechBuzz. You guys are doing phenomenal for the community, I would say. So thanks for having me again. Yeah.
Thank you. Very excited to have this conversation. I went through your pitch deck, and it seems like you're onto something really disruptive. But before we get into the meteor stuff, Arun, would you want to give us a brief intro about your background and how did you come into PropTech, and what were your story behind starting Realty?
Yeah. Just to give about my background, I'm in the industry for last 16 years. This is the 16th year.
Hmm.
And almost I finished after my MBA. I happened to get into a real estate infrastructure company. I mean, I happened to be in the infrastructure company and fortunate to have got into the founding team of a real estate wing of theirs, right? So that that was the start. I would say. I mean, I've never left real estate post that. So all these 16 years have been there. So in MBA, typically I'm a Marcom person. So marketing communication is my, core strength. So that is what we did as an employee in the initial 3-4 years, right? I mean, four plus years, yeah. And in 2011 is where I started my own business in real estate, where I wanted to come up with this sorts of more of a consulting for the builders and the businesses, trying to see that there is inbound possible, trying to say to builders that hey, every project can be sold because demand is huge and things like that, right? As that with that experience of 4 years, where I did huge work in that 4 years, that gave the confidence, to be frank, right? So in 4 years, just to give a perspective, we sold about 6,000 houses, sold collected money, and the product ranged from about 5 lakh rupees to probably 7.5 crores, and it involved various. And I on a year, I happened to manage almost 16 to 17 crore as my marketing budget, right?
Wow.
So, we tend to. I mean, we've dealt with every vendor possible and everything. So right. So that's the starting point, where in that 3-4 years, whatever I had the best of the best budgets. I could afford any medium, I could afford any vendor. But in spite of it, right, um, what was the norm, and still it is the norm, right? Things have not changed in the last decade or so, at least, is that 70% of the people complained, right? Whatever it is, the call comes in as inbound. I'm saying inbound calls, it's just not outbound, right? Inbound calls, 70% drop off as junk or misfit by the sales team on the first minute of it, right? And I also observed, like, after that, the remaining 30%, if the sales team follow up for second, third time, and they come to the physical site visit, 99% of them do not buy a home on the first site visit.
On the first site visit, which is for a transaction as expensive as real estate would be
Yeah.
normal, no?
99%. See, people,
Ah,
which
okay. Hmm.
what I'm trying to say is, I'm not against somebody visiting more, right?
Hmm.
That's fine. But are they visiting more for more in terms of further clarity, or basically it was an inquiry? I found that almost everybody are walking to the project to basically understand what's there in it, not
Hmm.
about, okay, they already know that they have a unit to buy there,
Got
right?
it. Got it. Got
So
it. Okay.
which means if you see the lead which I generate for that 16, 17 crores what I manage, 70% is a waste of spend,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
This is just not with me. I mean, it is across the industry and it is the norm still date,
Got it.
right? And site visits, people, my sales team were like always preach in our reviews saying that, hey, we have so many site visits, we have doing that and things like that, right? Out of site visits, there are only 25% conversion or a 20% conversion at max, I'm saying.
Right.
Max North Star, which means people are not having clarity and walking to site. And for that, the sales team, which is spending almost 30 days to bring them to site visit, which means my capex is lost, my telecalling efforts is lost, my marketing spend is waste, right? Almost 80% is going waste, and we don't have any other medium to do that, right?
Mm.
So
Okay.
when I came out and started this consulting world, I said that I want to preach this as a point and things like that. Wanted to bring some automations. Then I found the best of the best gap, right? Which
Mm.
is the unit home is yet to get commoditized, and that's
What,
why
what
there is.
what do you mean by unit home? Sorry, I'm going to be asking a lot of dumb questions to you. Okay. So what when you say unit home, what does it mean?
See, we what an SKU in this world, right?
Mm.
SKU of this world, A101 on the first floor, a 2 bedroom, 1,000 square feet facing north.
Got it.
That is a SKU here, right? That is a unit home,
Got it.
right? That, if you see typically, is every unit home has different targets within a project,
Mm.
right? A 1 bedroom would be, say, typically about 20 lakhs or 30 lakhs. A 2 bedroom will be of different ranges, and 3 bedroom will be of different ranges. But what was the gap? Why the junk of 70% is that we all of us handle everything at a project level. We showcase as project. We say there is a range of price, there is a range of area available. So
Mm.
every buyer thinks that whoever is seeing that range thinks that there is a product for them inside that,
I I see. Okay.
right? And that's why there is everybody who are basically an eyeball tend to come out and go on to inquire there, right? They would like to understand whether they have a check. I mean, they have a check of say 45 lakhs, and I advertise saying that there is homes starting from 20 lakhs to 80 lakhs,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a huge beautiful elevation. I say there are 600 houses, there are amenities, flamboyant amenities. This is what we advertise, right?
Right.
So
Right. Yes.
the guy who has the 30 lakhs or 40 lakhs in his pocket think that okay, he has a house, right?
Mm.
There are 500, 600. So what happens? He calls immediately. What happens? All of us again give him the physical brochure, which is of no meaning to him, right?
Mm.
He's a lay person, right? He does not understand the floor plan, the directions, the on which floor it is, and things like that. So he immediately again comes back to the sales guy. Sales guy says, "Hey, come over to site visit. I'll show you what it is."
Mm.
So, okay, so the same problem we were trying to attempt with the ARs, VRs of the world, right? Right from the walkthroughs of the age. Even today, walkthrough is holding good, right? Even the ARs. But all those things stand isolated when there is no unit reference, where it is on the floor, right?
Mm.
Where it is on the site,
Mm.
in the buyer context, right?
Right.
See, today, a Google map is so simple for us because
Mm.
you know where we are standing.
Right.
If I don't know where I am standing, and all of a sudden you're showing a floor inside an office to me, right?
Mm.
How will it make sense to me on
There's no.
Google?
Yeah. It has to be context from the customer's side.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm.
So that is where I'm saying the walkthroughs and the ARs and the techs of the world have not figured out the unit dynamics of it, right? We
Mm.
need on a say we need to first make sure that that common unit is identifiable by every enterprise out there.
Mm.
Some could visualize it, some could sell it, some could do loans towards it, some would buy it, right?
Mm.
But there has to be a common unit which can't be duplicated
Mm.
digitally, and that's when digital things can happen. Since this is not digital, what happens? Everything happens at the project site, which means a bank wants to lend a loan, they come to site. A buyer wants to do something, he comes to site, right?
Mm.
Your own AutoDeck and AutoCAD, if they don't have the CAD drawing, none of the AR VR can survive,
Right.
right? From the CAD, do they even split and speak in terms of from the buyer perspective. No, it's more
Mm.
of a see, it's good for an architect, right? It's good for the enterprise level who already have the knowledge of the product itself, right?
Mm.
While from the ground up they build, so they know it.
Right.
From the buyer perspective, it's always see from the buyer. Even to give you a simple thing, right? See, buyer always thinks like this. Buyer wants to buy a house, and then he wants to understand what's the neighborhood around it. Is the neighborhood good enough for him, right? Which
Okay.
a buyer
Mm-hmm.
always thinks the reverse, but as an enterprise we always thinks the reverse, right? We
Mm.
say that, hey, here is your neighbor, brilliant neighborhood, any of you could will have the best lifestyle in this neighborhood.
Right.
It doesn't happen that way.
Mm. Okay.
Buyers are split as targets, right? I mean, if you go
Mm.
ask any marketing guy, every target group has, even a particular age group has various uh, profiles and
Mm.
perspectives for himself, right?
Mm.
So not that every neighborhood suits everybody, right?
Right. Mm.
Today if you see all the projects, they're all similar, right?
Mhm.
They all have the same sets of amenities. I mean, everybody claims a swimming pool, everybody claims everything today in a
Right.
community.
Right. Yeah.
Those are things. There's a different view which we have taken. So basically what we are trying to do now is to take everything to a unit home, make it digitized, right? A common unit identifier, right?
Mhm.
Thereby this unit identifier could be consumed by everybody, be it the buyer, be it the broker, be it the banker, be it the AIVR people, be it whoever it is. So whoever does what against a common identifier, then everything makes everything sense for each other.
Okay. So I understand logically how. So what does the product look like in terms of your technology?
Yeah. So we basically trying to make a Shopify for this world, right? We want to bring the commerce digital. We want to take everything digital so that the wastage comes down, because the
Mm.
lot of physicality and the amount of things which happen pre-site visit or pre-sale, right? The
Mhm.
quantum of work which happens between the
Mm.
B2 various Bs, right? That takes almost, I would say, 60 to 90 days, right? We
Mm.
want to cut that down so that people select a home, probably couple of choices or three choices, and then they go visit and make that final call, right?
Couple of
So
choices online. Say for example, there's a new project coming in. Okay, and usually the project is being sold or marketed, not the unit level. Okay,
correct.
and now what you are saying is give them the unit level information so that they make up their mind before they step into the site.
They are very clear about their budget. They are clear about the facing. They are clear about the basic sense of room sizes, right?
Mm.
And they know what's the neighborhood, right? And
Mm.
now they inquire. After this, if they are inquiring, I'm sure there is no 70% junk, which we've
Mm.
already done, which we are doing. All of our clients are enjoying that.
Mm.
Today, that 70% junk, what I claim at the lead level, is because everybody markets at the project level, where everything is at a superficial level, right?
Mm.
So any home seeker would inquire here. Vis-a-vis a unit is something where who's looking at a north facing, who fits into the budget, who fits into the EMI. He gets all these information and then he inquires. I'm not saying people, everybody will buy it, but
Mm.
somebody inquires is almost a match. He himself as a buyer know these informations, right?
But tell me, Arun, I'm just again asking some questions based on my naivety and lack of industry knowledge, like you. Why would the builders or the whoever is selling the project not offer this unit level information to their users? Because it is all about marketing. You market the project, but you also say that this project has got 3 or 4 types of rooms or units or whatever it is. Why are they not doing it?
It's not that they're not doing, there is no tool out there to do
There's
it for
no
them.
tool out there. Okay.
That's
Uh-huh.
all. It's they're trying to do with their 2D brochures and the simple printouts.
Right.
They're doing it in all forms for
Right.
decades.
Uh-huh.
See, just imagine before 2000 what retail was.
Mm.
The same state is what real estate is today. Everybody wants to print flyers and give it away, right? After 2000, the e-commerce boomed and the retail now has come into digital catalog completely.
Right.
Today in real estate, why there is no digital catalog? If there is a digital cataloging, and that too by the owner himself, say a builder or a individual owner,
Mm.
then the rest of the players could do what they're doing already in the market,
Mm.
right? Digitally.
Mm.
Thereby, an e-commerce could come, right? See,
Mm.
today transactions cannot happen at project level. Simple.
Could you explain that? What do you mean by it cannot happen at project level?
Uh, the You need an SKU page to put a
Right.
buy button. Am I right?
Right.
So if there is no SKU
Mm.
page, you can't put a buy button, and that's what's happening today. There's only a project level page or a project level digitalization or project level information out there digitally.
Right.
Thereby, people all they are maximum doing is no more or inquire now.
But do you think people are ready to transact directly online, because there is bank, there is loan and stuff like that, right? So what does the buy button mean actually at the
Exactly.
end? What's the outcome of a buy button online?
Yeah, that's a fantastic. So that we are leading there, right? So
Mm.
that's so now that you agree that there is a buy button possibility because there is a unit level, right? How
Right.
is this possible? Is that real estate is high value, and that's where we say we strongly believe that it can't be like a retail, right?
Right.
Just
Mm.
like how Swiggy and Amazon needs logistic partners,
Right.
right? In real estate also there is 100% requirement of last mile connectivity, which means that will be done by the broker.
Yes, you can never get rid of broker.
Exactly. So that's where these two people have to be coupled, the unit home and the broker. What if the every broker out there in the world has
Mm.
access to a unit home which he could sell, right? Then slowly, steadily, we start progressing towards it, right? Today, we are putting unit homes as a search so that people buy at search level itself. People tend to filter out informations at a unit level and segregate. Hey, I am looking at 45 lakh 2 bedroom from say this
Mm.
builders.
Mm.
Now I talk to these three builders via phone. I
Mm.
get to understand that okay, there are out of those three, two are great. Then I schedule a site visit from wherever I'm sitting, right? And then go to site visit of those two, and
Mm.
then probably I'll buy one,
Mm.
right? But
Okay.
before even me choosing these three,
Mm.
I have to have the confidence at the point of sale, say broker, that I have seen everything.
Mm.
That I have seen everything confidence is
Mm.
not there in the market anywhere.
Mm.
Even to the tune of the 99 acres, even to the tune of Google, even to the tune of your nearby banker, even
Mm.
you go to your influencer nearby, you will never ever get that. I've seen everything.
So what do they get? What is the status quo today? What do they get on online? So everybody has an online portal for properties to sell. What is the maximum that they get on those portals?
They get, see, there are three things, right? See, one is the Google, Facebook sort of mediums.
Hmm.
The next level is the classified real estate specific classifieds, and the next level is the builder website itself.
Yes,
Right?
true. Hmm.
So if you take
Hmm.
all these three levels, what you get to see is project level information.
Not at the unit level, is it?
Absolutely nowhere.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, there are certain classifieds
Hmm.
just to make sure that they get quality in terms of leads have started to think unit level, but
Hmm.
unfortunately, all these are stagnant, static, decayed data,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
which is not real time. It's all duplicated data, which
Mm-hmm.
means the builder has the real time data.
Mm-hmm.
Even the builder website do not have real time data. So if his own website do not have real time data, no
Mm-hmm.
other people in the world will have it, right?
And what do you mean by real time data? Where is the use of real time data here?
With the current availability and price,
Okay.
what is now available and priced, right? See,
Okay.
today we for analogy's sake, for an easy understanding, we go to a cinema hall. There is say 100 seats there.
Seats. Yes.
You
Mm-hmm.
go to a classified site, a third party ticket new or anybody, you get the
Mm-hmm.
same inventory.
Right.
You go
Mm-hmm.
to the respective theater website also, you get the same inventory. You book however you want.
It's consistent. Yeah.
It's consistent. There's no duplicate here, right?
Mm.
Only
Mm.
real time.
Right.
only when is there's real time, the third party gets the trust factor from the buyer.
Okay.
If there is no real time data, say just imagine I book via ticket new, and he's giving is uh, a one step before booking. He collects money and say that, hey, you've paid me money, or just I'll come back to you. Let me check the availability and come back to you. If ticket new says this to you, what
Yeah.
happens? You even go back to ticket new again.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You lose trust. Yeah.
That is what is missing for the broker. Why brokers are not respected, why brokers are not trusted, is because they are not having real time. Why none of us are loyal to a 99 acres magic break? Because we don't get real time data, trustworthy
Mm.
data, right?
Mm.
If the same thing happens, just imagine if the same problem is solved, the builder gets as many sales point of sales as possible. One,
Mm.
that is
Mm.
getting solved. Two, every point of sale is going to make gain trust among his own audience. Thereby, he will be able to be loyal to his own region of buyers.
Could you define what is point of sales in real estate?
Point of sale could be just like retail, right?
Right.
It could be a website, it could be a physical office, it could be anything.
Right.
Wherever the buyer interact is a point of
Point of,
sale.
got it. Okay. Mm.
What I'm saying is every broker is a point of sale for a builder.
Right.
If that's what we are trying to solve, what we are trying to solve is that we are making sure that brokers have real time point of sale tools.
Okay. Which today do not have. Mm.
No, there's nothing for brokers today.
There's nothing for brokers today. Yeah.
There's nothing at all for brokers.
Mm.
But everybody wants brokers to be respected, industry should grow, and things like that, right?
So, what is the status quo with brokers in terms of relevance of information? Is it do the builders and how do the brokers and builders interact with updated information? Is it like, hey, how many units were sold? What's the inventory today? What's the price for today? Have you raised the price? How is this syncing of information between brokers and developers happening?
You'll not believe it's as old as 2 decades back. I mean,
Mm.
before the invent of 2G, I would say, however we were, it's
Mm.
like that in real estate, right? I'm saying
So,
people, as soon as
so,
I come, I'm just explaining. So as soon as a buyer comes to me, I assume I'm a broker,
yeah.
you come and ask me, hey, what's the project? Do I
Mm.
have a house here?
Mm.
Immediately, what I'll say is, I have to scratch my thing and say that, can you just wait for 2 minutes? Come, let me come back to you. I pick up
Okay.
the phone, talk to the sales guy out there in the builder office.
Mm.
I am trusting that sales guy is saying the right information.
Okay.
Okay, first point, and then coming back and say that it's there available. By the
Mm.
time the buyer goes there, I do not know whether it's going to be available or not,
Mm.
or it is the right information or not.
Right.
With all these things, I have to hold on to this buyer. I should
Right.
make sure this buyer trust me. How the hell any broker could make a buyer trust him?
Mm.
Right? It's impossible.
Mm.
What we are trying to do is that's where we have invented something called as a cloud stock room, right? Which
Mm.
is like a Google Drive,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
right? It's a simple stock room via which any person who creates his own inventory could grant access to other people's stock rooms without duplicating.
What is the meaning of stockroom?
An inventory place. We internally call it as a stock room.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just imagine where you manage your inventory, in stock, as a builder,
Okay.
or your primary stock or a secondary stock, right? Homes,
Yeah,
homes.
yeah. So when you say manage, also it means updating with. Okay, do you update it every day? Do you update it after every sale and every what is the change of
That's
status?
what, that is what I'm saying. So that's first, to even update. There is a place. There's a
Mm.
one place for you as a builder to create, or a broker to create, and now that inventory need not be duplicated. Say, assuming
Mm.
you're a builder. Let's do a simple example, right? You're a builder. I am a broker. You
Right,
will be given a cloud stock room.
right,
You can create your inventory. Now
right.
you want me to generate buyers for you. So what you do is, you don't give your physical brochure to me now.
Mm.
Right?
Right.
You
Mm.
grant access of your inventory
Right.
as you choose. partial, full, whatever it is, to me.
Right.
Now,
Right.
by granting access, I don't get to edit it.
Right.
I only get to have access of that in my stock room, right? Now,
Right.
both of our stock room has inventory,
Right.
but it is not duplicated.
It's not duplicated. Okay. Because the
It's
source
not
is
managed by you.
okay. The source is one.
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
Now, what happens with the same unit, what you created, I have got access.
Right.
Say there is another person called 99 acres. Now you give access to him also. There
Hmm.
is another person called banker, say ICICI. Now you give access to bank also. Now
Hmm.
all of us have stock rooms
Hmm.
which have the same inventory, which is managed by you from central place.
So today, all the classifieds, all the portals, they do not have any syncing of this kind. It's all manual. So you
You will
whatever.
not believe. I'll tell you. You go to across India,
Mhm.
every website out there is static website.
Okay. So
There's
that
not even
means
one
that
single
means
website.
at any given point of time, you cannot trust whether that property has been sold or it has changed in status or it is off market. There is
You
no way
can
you can.
you cannot trust a builder website. You cannot trust a broker website. You cannot trust a classified. You cannot trust Google means, which means
Hmm.
there is absolutely no information out there which is real time.
So you are solving for accuracy of information and integrity of information. Is that
Correct.
how it is? Hmm.
Exactly. We solve that and also make sure that it is also it is given to the brokers, who's the last mile. Now what
Hmm.
happens? The information starts dynamically changing, right?
Right. Right. Yeah.
So
That's.
now, as a broker, I need not just get access from you as a builder, right? It's
Hmm.
just not restricted to you. I can start getting access from every builder in India,
Hmm.
which means my stock room is going to have every builder in stock, which is real time, which is managed by respective builders.
Hmm.
Now, whom do I service? I service my buyer,
Right.
right? What we have also done is, I'm a marketing guy, so this stock room we've made with a click of a button. Each of us can launch our own websites,
Hmm. Yeah.
which will go to a SKU level pages, which will launch SKU level pages for every unit. Say
Nice.
I get access from DLF, I get access from Lodha, I get access from say Purvankara,
Right.
Kasagra,
Right.
from different locations.
Right.
With a click of a button, Arun.com will have a search
Right.
of all the unit homes from all the builders,
Hmm.
which is real time available, which is managed by the builder. So builder cannot say it is yes or no.
Hmm. Got it. Hmm.
Plus, more importantly, government of India has promoted like this, right? See, there is something called as RERA, which has come into place in the last five,
Yes.
6 years.
Yes. Yeah.
That is also is mandating a builder
Hmm.
maintain exact availability and price across his point of sales.
And why is this governance coming? Is there any bad actors or anybody manipulating this information, or it is primarily just to
It
make
is to
customers
organize. See, RERA itself
organize
is
it?
regulatory, right? Real
Hmm.
estate regulatory authority. So
Yeah.
it is buyer facing. It's basically have come to make sure that buyers don't buyer grievances comes down in
Hmm.
real estate. That's
Right.
that's the body it is, right? So
Right.
what it is showing is it is making sure that it's starting from builders. It's saying that hey, if you have to publish something in market, you get registered from me. If
Right.
you're a broker, come and register with me, and then that's when you can go to buyers.
Right.
Now, as a buyer, if you're facing any issue, come and complain so that I will check whether the registered people are there with me. I'll go penalize them. This is
Right.
as a RERA I'm do,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
So these are the. I mean, RERA is like your RERA has brought India equal to the West today. I would say that
In terms of regulatory compliance, is that how it is?
regulatory and also as a marketplace itself.
Hmm.
Just like how West a broker has to get a state ID,
Yes.
and then he go to an MLS, right?
Yes.
Get
Yeah.
access, and then he launches his website.
Right.
If the data is coming from MLS, it
Hmm.
is real time, right?
Right.
So
Right.
what I call it as stock room is basically we have decentralized MLS and put it in the hands of everybody.
Hmm. Is it in the interest of but this is at the level of the builder, this syncing, right?
It is both ways. See, what we've done is we are basically, this can be utilized by a builder, a banker, and a broker.
Right.
But we are making sure that we go to the broker who is the last mile connect to
Right.
consume brokers as point of sales.
Right.
These businesses will come into our platform.
So your primary target is brokers, and which businesses? So the brokers would drive business for you in terms of connecting you to the builders. Is that how it is?
Correct. See, brokers will increase sales for builders, right?
Right. Yes.
So if I give say 10 brokers, if I have
Hmm.
10 brokers on my platform, and all
Right.
of those brokers have the capacity to have his own 99 acres magic bricks, which
Right.
is real time, unlike the current 99 acres version.
Ah. Right. Okay.
Now,
Hmm.
to access this 10 people from different locations, every
Right.
builder would come into, right,
Right. 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 Yeah.
as a point of sale. That's how a builder would come, right,
Got it.
and a banker would come.
So you're making the broker very powerful in the market. Okay.
Correct.
So that way, since he's now laden with information in his hand, relevant information, so he's more likely to get hot leads, and
He's
as a
going to
result,
be respected by in the market first and foremost.
he's not
Right?
respected because he does not have real time
Information.
information.
Information. That's about it.
Mm,
He is hardworking. He wants to do better business. Right?
mm,
He's really powerful. Right?
mm,
But he's unable to build loyalty among that 10, 20, 50 customers of his buyers. Right?
mm.
So those are things which we're trying to. So what we want to do is the next decade of India
Right.
have to make real estate very respectful, right? This
Mm,
junk spam feel of real estate has to go away,
mm. That's
which every tech world is actually looking at us like that, right? Right
right.
from
Yeah.
chimps to Facebook, everybody disregard real estate because we are spamsters,
Mm,
right? Why is
mm,
that spamster? Because all of us are doing everything very, very macro superficial way, right? There will
mm,
be things, there will be spams. We can't
mm,
avoid it, right?
mm.
So once we get into this, right, now a broker will talk to those. He will not talk to anybody who's misfit, right?
That's correct. Yeah. That,
If I as a broker, if I have 10 buyers in front of me,
mm,
I need not be partial to any builder or a banker.
right.
I have to be partial to my 10 buyers. As long as my 10 buyers has every option in the market,
Mm,
I'm going to get the same commissions, irrespective of where it is, who from who it is, right?
right.
So that's the power which we're trying to give. If this happens, then a builder is also going to have the best win, right? Which
Right.
means all he has to do is just create a project, come and plug to reality. Boom, he's there everywhere across India.
Right.
He'll be able to sell everywhere, right?
Right.
So that's the dynamics we're trying to do. Now we are basically tied up with the NARs and we are going broker first purely in that
What is
front.
NARs, by the way?
It's National Association of Realtor.
Do
Uh,
we have NAR in India?
yeah, NAR India is there. So
Okay.
we just their national convention just happened last Saturday,
Hmm.
18th of March, and that's the on that day only we launched as well.
Ah,
Uh,
nice.
so what I mean, almost 1,000 plus brokers were there, about 30 builders were there, and about three banks, regional banks were there.
Hmm.
What we did was 18, 18, 18, 18th March, 18th hour, 18th minute.
Hmm.
That single minute we connected everybody
Hmm.
on our platform and allowed them to exchange stock and leads from then on.
So technologically your platform was ready to. So what stage of your platform is today? Maybe we can start from there.
Yeah, we are completely ready. We just launched with NAR last week.
Hmm.
Probably next month we are going to go full hog open for
Right.
everybody in the
So
market.
what does onboarding mean? So what is a go to market strategy like? So it's open for all brokers to join in, and
Correct.
do they have to?
Yeah,
Is it a license?
basically, yeah. Reality is like this: brokers can have build their own brand, their own network, and their own backend office, and grow and scale as he wants instantly, right? So
Mm-hmm.
for this, we give him his own website, which is instant, his own stock room, his own backend office lead exchange place, right? So he just need not worry about anything. Be it he let him be in Kanyakumari or let him be in Kashmir, he could just buy be part of reality and start doing real estate in his region.
So help me
In his
understand. In Europe, in other countries, there are big realtor agencies, companies which have their own brokers. Okay, are you targeting that kind of demographic, or you are also targeting individual brokers?
everybody. We are not B2C, right?
Okay.
We are B2B, which
Right.
means anybody can use us. So the individual are the guys who are the starters for us.
Hmm.
There are teams, and there will be enterprises like whom you say
Right.
will also. I mean, as I said today, nobody has a real-time website, and nobody has whatever I'm saying.
Exactly. Exactly. They're all
Unfortunately,
struggling, and sometimes they do not have the marketing budget. Even to maintain a website like that, which is not drawing trustworthy people, it's of no use, and they do not have the money and the margins to maintain such websites. So they
absolutely.
would really appreciate if that website that they have spending their hard earned money can become a trustworthy source of information.
Yeah.
So it's definitely very,
To be
yeah.
frank, we are getting inquiries from leading classifieds in India, right?
Mm.
As to how to migrate, right?
Mm.
Uh,
Ah, okay.
so that's a surprise to us, to be frank. And even we are getting inquiries from banks, leading banks, right? See,
Mm.
today for banks, there is no problem of point of sales. There is no problem of projects.
Mm.
There's no problem of buyer coming into him, right?
Right. Right.
But they don't have a tech to showcase all their inventory to their buyers.
Mm.
As simple as that. Today what banks are excited about us is that they could show all of their approved projects. Say, let's take the leading banks, right?
Mm.
And I name them here.
Mm.
Take the leading banks.
Mm.
What if they could show all of their approved projects at a unit level search
Right.
across their branches and across their DSA devices? Thereby, a
Mm.
buyer could walk in, select a particular unit, upload KYC, and instantly get home loans. Instant,
Right.
just like
Right.
any other credit card or a car loan.
Right.
So
And
that
why it's not happening today? Because the bank could anyways be in close contact with the builders, no?
project,
Project,
simple
at the
project by
project level.
project.
Okay.
That's
Uh-huh.
all. They all have the information of project, but
Right.
project cannot be transacted for project. I mean, no buyer is buying a project, right?
Mm. Right.
Banker
Okay.
would say, hey, I've approved this project, which unit are you buying? Then the
Mm.
buyer has to go, basically the banker push the buyer towards a builder or a broker to
Mm.
finalize something and come back to him,
Okay.
which takes 90 days.
Ah, okay. And the banker would go also to the site to verify which property and stuff like that.
You
Uh,
will not believe, for every loan application,
uh-huh.
there is one physical employee involved of bank.
Okay.
How inefficient it is today. And you
Okay.
know how much they are dispersing year on year?
Mm.
Can you guess in India how much they are dispersing?
Loan disbursement.
Yeah,
Uh,
per
I
annum.
have I have no clue. On an average bank you are talking about.
Average. All banks put together in India contribute nothing less than $75 billion per annum, annually recurring disbursements.
That's huge, no?
That's $75 billion
Mm.
of money is
Mm.
getting. I mean, this is growing rapidly. Whatever
Yeah.
I'm saying is something which I'm not saying as of today, but
So residential, primarily residential real estate, 75 billion is being dispersed.
$75 billion is getting dispersed by the top 10 banks of India.
Oh, $75 billion you mean? Okay. Mm-hmm.
$75 billion.
Hmm. And in spite of such massive disbursement, nobody is investing a few million to solve for efficiency.
See, yeah, everybody have gone to the VRs ARs without
Mm.
figuring out the unit SKU, right? See, that's
Mm.
where it is. See, today retail is brilliant. Even
Mm.
today, if you go to Amazon and Flipkart, you will have a SKU page without which nothing happens. You can put a
Mm.
video, you can put. See, what if just imagine like this, right? We want to buy an iPhone 13, right? Say red color. We don't have a page for it, but there is a iPhone come category page is there. How will
Mm.
how will transaction happen at category level? without knowing there is a page. I mean, the transaction page has to happen, right?
Right.
That SKU level information, if you do not know whether red is available, whether
Hmm.
256 GB or whatever the configuration spec is available,
Right.
right?
So,
That SKU level information is missing. That's what I'm saying.
okay, so let's talk about the infrastructure that you're providing to the broker. Okay, if even if it is an individual, what so a broker comes. Let's talk about the journey. He comes to your platform and he says, "Okay, I'm very interested to have my own website set up and stuff like that." So how does that interaction look like today?
Very, very simple. See, what we do is he has to just come in, finish his onboarding process, which is just 5 minutes a maximum, sign
Hmm.
up process, and then all he has to do is if he has inventory owned by him or mandate he creates it. If he do not have, there is something called as partner section where he goes and search for other inventory from the builders and banks, right?
So if he has not officially been approved as a broker for that builder, he can apply for that for your platform.
Exactly. He'll go send a gain request from the builder.
What request? Sorry.
A gain request.
Okay. So gain request is the
So gain would
terminology.
be,
Get a
yeah,
mandate.
yeah. Basically, he says, "Hey, give me stock, right, to sell."
Okay.
So
Okay. Got it.
all he has to do is just that, right? The profile would be notified to the builder, and the builder goes through the profile. He connects and grants access for his stock.
So do you? It's like a marketplace. Do you connect the brokers with the developers? Is that how it is?
There is a B2B marketplace behind the scene. As I said, there are three pieces. One is the website. The second is the inventory. The
Hmm.
third is the B2B marketplace. The
Hmm.
B2B marketplace will have every businesses which is powered by Reality out there, right? Each
Right.
of them could privately connect. It's not like a social network, right?
Hmm.
Just
Hmm.
because you are connected to somebody and I'm connected to you, I'll be able to access your friends. No, it's not
Hmm.
like that.
Right. Right. Yeah, I get
It's
that.
it's one to one. So
Right.
basically, I should know you and you should know me, and
Hmm.
mutually we both have to agree
Right.
to go forward, right?
Right.
So
Hmm.
that piece is there behind the scenes. So now what happens? A broker could be anywhere. Even a broker could sit in Silicon Valley,
Hmm.
right, and could sell every builder project of India, and he could have his own website there. Just imagine that. So an NRI need not even travel to India to get information,
Hmm. Okay,
right?
because it is all synced up in the cloud. Okay,
Yeah.
and then okay, then it opens up immense possibilities, no? Because then you do not have to be locally present to gain access to information and stuff like that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so
Only
does a broker now drive business in terms of getting these developers signing up to your platform?
both, yeah, it happens. Each of the broker has their own set of builders. They come and bring in,
Right.
which eventually keep growing. So there is a network effect play.
Network effect play, yeah.
So
Nice.
regionally every builder would come in, then they
Mm,
will get to know. Each broker will bring some peer brokers,
mm,
right,
mm,
for the secondary market, right?
mm.
Primary there is a builder. For secondary there is a peer broker involved, right, in terms
Right.
of inventory or leads.
Mm,
So this is inevitable, right? So
mm,
that network is what we've built for them. So that's why we say three things, right? A brand, a network for yourself, and
mm.
your own back office.
Right.
So brand is the website. A network is you connect to every bees of the
Mm,
businesses.
mhm.
I mean that is also your choice, your own private network. And third
Right.
is the back office where you manage all the buyers and
Right.
grant back those leads. See, what we've also done is it's just not stock which is getting exchanged. The
Mm,
reverse also applies, which means I generate buyers,
mm.
then I grant access of these leads to the builders, which means the builder don't get to access the lead directly. The lead will not get duplicated.
It's for the brokers. So brokers gets the lead, and then that lead cannot be accessible for the builders. Is that how it is?
It is not accessible by the builders. It will be
Okay.
granted access to the builders, which means it will not get duplicated, just like stock.
I see. Got it. Okay. Mm,
Now, because it's not duplicated, the
mm.
broker reserves the right what to be shown and what not to be shown.
Oh, he has. So you're empowering the broker completely because they could be abused, no? Because there could be also duplication saying that, okay, you get me this lead, but this lead is already talking to me. So
Correct.
I,
Those things
okay,
cannot happen. I'm saying while granting, we are just developing this. Maybe within a couple of months, we'll release this feature, which is the lead, even the buyer can decide he need not show the number or email address to the broker also.
Right.
The broker decides, he grants access to a builder. The builder get to hear the voice of conversation, the voice of the customer, which happened, I mean, the conversation happened between the broker and the buyer,
Mm.
an interest which is shown towards my project. After
Right.
hearing the voice, if I
Mm.
still want to access that lead, I accept. On
Mm.
accept, I pay money,
Got it.
right?
Uh,
So there is complete democracy and there is
right.
complete transparency and trust factor here.
Right.
We want to bring in high privacy for the buyers, which is our next, at least in next 12, 16 months, we want to go there where the buyer also decides whether I need to share my contact information to anybody or not, right?
Mm.
Without which, if because he could subscribe or unsubscribe for anything. Today I
Right.
might be interested in some project.
Right.
Tomorrow I am not interested, which means I should not get any more information. I mean, and any more
Spam. Yeah.
communication, right?
Mm.
So those things are also we are looking at. So
Mm.
for all these things, who's the starting point is the broker. The
Mm.
point where the interaction between the business, I mean, the seller and the buyer happens is at the broker level.
Okay. Could you shed some light on the culture of a real estate agent or broker in India? So you mentioned about RERA. So is it mandated by RERA that all the brokers and real estate agent have to be licensed? Okay, they have to, like, just like in the US, you need to pass an exam before you can get a license. Is that how it is, or it is much unorganized and anybody can be a broker today?
It is illegal if you don't have a RERA ID in India as a broker.
And this is a
You
new
cannot
development.
do real estate without having a state RERA ID in
Hmm.
India as of today.
Is this a new development? Like, did it
It
happen
is as
recently?
per RERA. I mean, whenever RERA has come, any broker out there, if he is doing buying and selling, if
Hmm.
he is assisting in buying and selling, right,
Hmm.
he has to mandatorily have a RERA ID from a state. Okay, which means a broker, if he has to operate in multi-state, he has to
Hmm.
have multi-RERA IDs.
Okay. Hmm.
Okay, which means not everybody can afford it to go pan national or multi-city.
So do you have to pay to get this ID, or do you have to pass an
Yeah,
exam, or how is it?
it is today payable, and slowly steadily couple of leading states like Maharashtra has already brought in certifications. It's
Hmm.
evolving very rapidly. See how RERA is today implemented is, first, the government mandated the builders to register projects.
Hmm.
Now they've mandated builders to engage only with RERA brokers.
Hmm. Okay.
Which
Hmm.
means you cannot engage with any non-RERA individual.
Right.
So thereby, how government is operating is not directly with the broker, right?
Hmm.
Even though a broker can directly go and get their registrations done,
Hmm.
that's, but how they are bringing compliance is via the builder, because that is much more easy for the builder, the government, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Second, this is registration. Second thing, what government has done is that there is compliance factor for the builders, which
Hmm.
most of the industry is still not aware of, which
Right.
is every quarter there has to be a sales return which has to be filed to RERA.
Hmm. Okay. From the builder side.
Exactly, which means he's disclosing to the, and which is also published in every RERA website. You today
Hmm.
you go to any state RERA as an individual, it's open to public. All of us can go and search for a project and get to see what's available today.
Hmm. By the way, does it also capture transaction data of the final sales price as a database across the country? Is the transparency today? Because, like in Europe, the government has transaction data of all properties here. So is it also towards that direction it is solving, or not?
It is going towards that direction. Unfortunately, government also, what they have done is RERA state governments are also not digitized.
Hmm.
They have the vision clear, but
Hmm.
they are yet to get digitized in this perspective. See,
Hmm.
when I say this compliance,
Hmm.
how is it happening? Is there is a Excel format
Hmm.
which is basically converted as PDF and sent to uploaded to RERA, and the
Right.
RERA uploads that
Hmm.
form. right?
Mm-hmm.
That is not digitization. All of us know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm saying probably our own stock room, whatever we are providing for builders and bankers, can be provided to RERA state governments, right?
Right.
Where thereby they need not worry about getting these compliances, so that the builder manages availability in his stock room.
Mm.
With a click of a button, it will get synced to RERA. He could complain to RERA. So those are things which has to be done. These are something which is very. I would say we are the only player who are focusing on this RERA compliance for everybody. Uh,
Mm.
this, as I said, if all of us have moved towards B2C without
Right.
fixing the plumbing between B2B,
Mm.
right? None
Right.
of us have plugged the plumbing, right? So
Mm.
we are the only player who are actually doing the plumbing between the B2B, so that the
Mm.
B2C experience drastically changed.
Right. So, what's your business model like? Do you charge for a license fee, a subscription fee to be part of your platform? Maybe you can shed some light there.
Yeah. So we are going very subscription wise right now. We are very early today, but today we are just going broker first and also builder first. As a early bird price for next 1 year, we are having a very fixed subscription fee. So
Mm.
slowly, steadily, we'll build the people in and make sure that they use and see how people are using it, and then probably price the transaction. We want to bring about the payouts for brokers via the platform. That's
Mm.
our immediate agenda, because we want the brokers to get consistent cash flows, right? We want brokers to earn money for every buyer interactions, right?
Mm.
So thereby he grows, he scales.
Mm.
Once he scales, the industry is going to flourish, right? So
Mm.
we want to make the builder payouts and the banker payout towards a broker happen via our platform, which is our foremost importance in the next year.
Mm.
And thereby what we are giving is an early bird window where anybody, any broker, anybody can just have his own website and see who's using. We have to incubate few. We are doing that already.
Mm-hmm. So,
um, yeah.
if the broker websites become more respectable and trustworthy than the property portals that we have today, so are these also your target audience to ensure that they become your customers, the property portals?
Yeah, they should become our customers eventually.
Mm-hmm.
They can't deny. See, because or otherwise they have to start building something similar to what we're doing, which
Exactly.
is
Yeah.
not which they won't do because we are not their competition, right? uh,
No,
because we are basically, sorry,
you're competing with them on the basis of trust, no?
we are pushing them towards next version. That's all I
Mm.
would say.
Okay, okay, got it. Mm.
We see, we want every broker is going to become a competition for their classifieds, right? But
Mm.
the classified has their own space. Yellow
Mm.
pages today, they do their own work, right?
Mm.
They are also figuring out how to get into transaction, which I know, at least being a close watch of the industry.
Mm.
They're also not making big monies. I mean, their turnovers could be high, but
Mm.
I'm damn sure that they're not making good margins in terms of lead generation. Today, most of the classifieds are paying heavy money to Google and Facebook, right? Which means collecting money from the market, paying it to Google and Facebook is what they're doing.
Why are they not getting organic traffic to their platforms? Why should they go to Google and Facebook? Because I can understand the smaller portals or smaller classifieds have to compete, but usually there is, in any given market, there is one, two, three top classifieds which are already getting a lot of organic traffic. No.
Um, I, I I do not know. I would say I do not know the exact figures what they claim, but they claim big numbers. Few
Mm-hmm.
claim 7 million, few claim 10 million as their monthly traffic.
Mm-hmm.
But primarily, what I see is that, see, as I said, I've been in different roles. I've become, I was a consumer for classifieds. As a buyer, I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
When in India, at least, when do we trust classifieds is for the secondary market. We look for rents, we look for co-livings, where that too we would like to avoid those brokers purely for misinformation. Not that we don't want to engage with brokers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And why brokers are not giving complete information is because he's fear that, okay, his fear of things where I would go directly to the I'll bypass him and go towards the directly, so he's not giving me complete information.
Mm-hmm.
So basically classifieds today, most of the guys are like somebody who comes in new to the city who wants a rented place, they go to classifieds,
Mm.
right? You need commercials, you need classified, you need secondary houses, you need classifieds. Those are places which you cannot ignore. Classified is one of the place where today there is nothing available, so classified exists, let me put it that way.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, so something is better than nothing, so
Right.
that's where it is making money.
Got it.
But that's something where it has to change.
Got it. Cool. So got to know about your business model. What stage of the company it is it today? So do you already have funding raised? You're looking for more funding. Like what stage of evolution the company is today?
Yeah, see, we are so far bootstrapped, and we just raised few about 150K from angels, HNIs,
Mm-hmm.
who trust me as a founder.
You're right.
Fortunately, with that, we have now gone to the market successfully, have done the tech, right, and
Mm.
also have got association with NAR, and probably we have our 1,000 signups already on the
Nice.
first zeroth day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
now we are going out. Our vision is towards e-commerce. Our vision is towards that, right? So we are migrating the entire industry towards digitization, right? We
Mm.
want the brokers, builders, banks to get into the digital world and do transactions digitally, right? And use any like any other retail, right? So that's the vision. So we have a very long way to go from where we are starting. So definitely we would need funds. One, second, as the network, what I said, even for example, when we were talking to Kerala Realtors Club, right? Yeah, association, one broker called up and said that he handles secondary in India and primary in Dubai, which means he handles primary market of Dubai, which is primary builders, which means our own brokers will fetch new markets to us, right?
Mm.
If I'm going to power that broker and his inventory, which means I'm going to inevitably go to, say, Dubai, like this, a new market. So, which means we are going to go global also, right? The product is same, the problem is same, right?
Mm.
Everybody ultimately have to sell, and everybody who wants to sell needs more point of sale, right?
Right.
To make every point of sale respectful and truthful and transparent,
Hmm.
whatever we are providing is required.
Right.
There are many players out there who are doing partially but not holistically. We are the
Mm.
only platform who are doing it, and we
Mm.
wanted to scale. So we need funding. As I said, we are just raised. We are more likely getting we are figuring out as to how to launch our seed fund, I mean fundraise, so that will open up. So anybody, we are open to talk also. We are
Got it.
talking in parallel, yeah.
Just a clarification. Why do you use the term e-commerce when the transaction? Do you think? I mean, even if you solve for transparency, if you solve for credibility, people would actually pay online for booking their properties.
See, today everything is already digital, right? In terms of payments, right?
Mm.
See, whatever I pay, if I'm buying a new house, on every stage, I'm basically doing a bank transfer, which is digital. I'm
Mm.
not today writing a check or taking my cash and going there, right?
Okay, so
All
you need to. So what you're saying is you will bring bank as also the third player onto your platform so that the transactions happen online. Is that how it is?
it's just, yeah, that is also there. Home loans from banks, brokers manage leads to site visits,
Mm.
site visit to sale or selling itself by the builder, right?
Mm.
So these three players are our focus, right?
Mm.
And
Mm.
to start, we are going brokers. Thereby, we will get the builders, and thereby we'll get the bankers into play.
Bankers. Okay.
Each of them are interdependent. For any transaction to go through, these three players are inevitable.
So help
With
me understand. Are there any existing players who are bringing these three players together digitally and helping the transaction happen online?
nobody has addressed B2B at all till date. Everybody have gone to B2C, which means everybody will face the buyer invariably.
Mm.
Everybody wants to be the super aggregator or the
Mm.
super somebody, right?
Mm.
Without background back end work,
Right.
yes, that's going to happen. I'm not denying that there is a huge market for it,
Mm.
but I'm sure my own brokers whom I'm powering will eventually go on to become the next Remax, the next JLLs, the next
Mm.
Nightingales, the next Century 21s of the world, the next Keller Williams of the world, right? I
And
they'll have their business models.
it has not happened in India because they have always gotten the short end of the stick. They have not gotten a fair deal in this. Am I right?
You're always right. I mean, you're right. Correct. You're right. Always, it's just not that, right? The government, the evolution of real estate also has happened. This
Mm,
RERA and GST, India has brought a lot of formalization into the industry, I would
mm,
say, from
mm,
2015-16 onwards.
mm,
Now, today, there is almost everything is formalized, right from registrations. Lot
mm,
of dynamics government has brought in the last 2015 to 2016, right? And
mm,
from fintech play, we are almost leading the world, right? In
mm.
terms of
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We're leading the world. India is leading on the fintech
so
play.
even for fintech, the next big consumer good is real estate, right?
Mm,
So for them also they have to come this side,
right.
and the biggest GDP contributor also has to come up. That's when
Mm,
the next figuring things have to happen. This is like inevitable. We are
inevitably, yeah.
we are in the inflection point. I would say it's just going to happen. No matter what,
Nice.
somebody is going to do, and probably we are at the right point.
So in India, don't we have big real estate agencies existing today?
There are many, but
Uh-huh.
still, there are JLLs. There is a Remax. There is
No, no,
Square Yards.
these are international companies. I'm talking about Indian companies.
No. They are there are Indian versions of it. I'm
Ah,
saying
okay. Uh-huh.
India specific. There are companies.
Got it.
JLL India, Remax India. There is Square Yards, who's India based. There is
Mm-hmm.
Prop Tiger, who's of Housing.com's
Mm-hmm.
company. They are
Mm-hmm.
into real estate transactions. There are 360 Realtors. There are many regional players. Their maximum region will be one or two states, but
Mm-hmm.
they would typically be present in 5-6 cities.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but there, uh, to my own surprise, there are certain very in the NAR National Convention. I saw there are a couple of people who got awards for doing almost 20,000 transactions.
Mm-hmm.
20,000 physical transactions he has done for the last decade or
Mm-hmm.
so, right? So even there, they don't have tech. Without tech, if they could do so much, right?
Yeah, yeah. You can empower them to just
Yeah,
multiply them into no.
exactly. And every person of this generate for every successful sale, they are losing almost 98% or
Mm,
97% of leads, which means they are making sure they have enough no's in their ears,
right.
right? And they move them as junk, and they go repay to generate them again, right?
Mm,
So that's a huge math also. So waste of money is happening. A lot of productivity tools could come in.
right.
See, if the Salesforce of the world, Zohos of the world, the email chimps of the world, the cloud telephonies of the world, the fintechs of the world, everybody have can start consuming real estate.
Mm,
If their sales growth is X, I'm sure in next decade, real estate is going to contribute enough SaaS subscriptions for them,
got
right?
it.
Uh, that is yet to even come, I would say.
Got it. Excellent. I went completely off the script. So I had a bunch of questions, but you know what? I was just following my curiosity. So my questions flowed very organically and naturally, and still we could have a very detailed conversation here. Arun, I think you are onto something with what with what you are building, and very excited to see the journey ahead on how it all pans out. You are right. It is you are tiding on a lot of trends, a lot of movements that is happening, especially in India. And yeah, the whole world is waiting for India to catch up to this next massive opportunity in the next few years. So all the best to you, Arun.
Thanks, Ravi. Thanks for that. Even I enjoyed thoroughly conversation. Even I didn't notice the time fly by. So it was more of I mean, I can understand. This is something which very close to my heart and my passion. So we will get it done. We'll bring respect to the industry. We'll make the next generation should make sure that they should aspire to become a realtor in
Right.
some way or the other.
Right.
Right, that is something which will definitely happen. We are going to see it happen. Yeah.
Excellent. All the best again, Arun. Thank you so
Sure.
much. Bye.
Thank you, Ravi. Thanks.